Imagine this, you're out and about on a beautiful day, ready to enjoy yourself and maybe get some ice cream. But oh no, you see a crazy guy at the corner of the street yelling absolute nonsense. Everyone avoids him. The mother is covering her child's eyes as they walk away from this madman. Everyone thinks he's absolutely insane. But not me. I'm actually inspired by this guy. Yes, Mr. Crazy Bearded Man. Tell me about how ants secretly know and speak English, or how Queen Elizabeth is actually alive living in the Earth's core with lizard people. I love this guy. Dare I say, I want to be like him when I'm 60. Let's go, Sally. We have that doctor's appointment about why our faces never move. Okay, so I don't have some society-altering conspiracy theories down my sleeve, but I have some quirky, silly ones that I feel like nobody talks about, and I would like to share it and make you think, huh. Alright, let's go. Banana peel theory. We've seen it in shows. It's a big cliche of someone slipping on a banana peel. Now, riddle me this, Batman. Have you ever slipped on a banana peel in your entire life? No. So, it makes you wonder. It probably didn't, but it made me wonder. Where does this slip on a banana peel bit come from even? I have never once in my life seen or personally have slipped on a banana peel. I have never seen a banana peel for there to be slipped on. So it makes me wonder, like, what Mandela effect bullshit is this? What parallel universe did this banana peel thing come from that we just accept as a wildly common way to slip? As if people are just slipping on banana peels left and right to the point where it's a popularized thing in media? What parallel universe did it come from? What different society did it come from? My theory is this, that before us, there was an ancient civilization of alien people that needed bananas to function, to reproduce. Bananas were so needed in this society before humanity came that they would be throwing it everywhere and people would slip. They would need these bananas for reproduction, for energy, for immortality. But one day a civil war broke out and this banana alien society fell. A couple of the strongest from this society managed to stay alive and to keep going and rise up once again and take over humanity. They erased their history from the world. As different species, such as humans and animals, came to the earth, they hid in the underground. The only thing they couldn't erase, the one slip-up they made, slip-up, was leaving this banana peel bit. A Mandela effect, a hazy memory, where we don't really know where it comes from, but we just accept that slipping on a banana peel is a normal, funny joke. I'm waiting for you. Alien fuck. And you won't take me alive. This next conspiracy theory has to do with our childhood, something that slowly gets phased out before you know what's even going on. It brought joy to us, yet vanished before we could even remember to miss it so dearly. And that thing is Heelys. Now my thing is, why don't adults have Heelys? What, would we have too much fun? Is enjoyment only meant for kids whose parents have $100 to spend on shoes? I'm looking at you, Jimmy. Fuck you, Jimmy. Now, I have a rather depressing confession. My beautiful, cute little feet and toes have never put on and equipped a pair of Heelys. I know. I'm not happy about it either. No matter how much I begged, my parents simply thought that it was too dangerous and that I was irresponsible and that I was gonna crash and brutally injure myself. To this day, I wonder what gave them that idea. I blasted my pinky toe on a corner, missed a step of stairs and got caught. Slipped and slammed my nuts right in the middle of that rail. I walked past some guys playing darts. I got a Roman candle firework sniped directly on my left eye. So in my freshman year, I was naturally bitter about this. And for Christmas or my b-day or any occasion, I would ask for adult Heelys for my friends and family. And they didn't exist for some reason. Yep, that's fine. My only question is, why? Do companies just stop making them after a kid's shoe size? Acting like, oh yeah, we should only make them for kids. Grown-ups would find this lame and wouldn't buy it. What are you talking about? Heelys are awesome. And every age thinks so. Who wouldn't want to zoom around in their walking shoes like they just unleashed their bunkai and now can achieve maximum speed? Walking can be so lame sometimes, but can you imagine a society where everyone's zooming around on Heelys, or you're late to the bus or train and you're like, no matter, you step into gear 2 and now you're figure skating down the pavement and you catch the train on time before the bus driver looks you dead in the eyes and closes the door 1 second before you're about to get in with no shame. Everyone thinks these things are just so fun. So what is the real reason to not have adult Heelys? To slowly dwindle our happiness as we grow up, perhaps? To make us lose sight of hope by making joy something only attainable by the wee lads of the world? So that we can accept a boring, soulless husk of a life, completely stripped of fun? So that we can work without question? Because what's the point of standing up to EvoCorp? There won't be any Heelys at the light at the end of the tunnel, so what's the point? And before someone asks, no, I'm not bitter that Jimmy got to spin circles around me because his mom and dad were loaded while I had to walk like a normal child. But hey, good news, adult Heelys are a thing now. For almost $100. Yo, this is a good time to say that all these conspiracy theories are for fun and entertainment purposes only, and they're all alleged. Thank you, back to the video. The sugar theory. Alright, basically I think there's way too much sugar in drinks now. I've recently got back into actually enjoying bubble tea, and when I go to my favorite sugar spot, Chat Time, I realize that it's just too f***ing sugary, any drink I get. Now, here's the thing. When I was like a kid, 100% sugar is like, whoa, that's a sweet drink. Like, I'm really gonna be jumping around, doing backflips the whole day from the sugar rush, you know? And then 80%'s like, oh, I like it sweet. 50%'s literally half sweet. And then 30% is like, oh, there's just a subtle sweetness to it. It's not that sweet. It's more tea than it is a sugary drink. And nowadays, dog, when I get 50%, that it is so disgustingly sweet that I'm coughing and want to throw up as I'm doing backflips all across town. And then 30% is like 80%, like back in the day, 80% sweet. To the point where not just in bubble tea, but I feel like everything just tastes like sugar and water now. Any drink that comes out, this new refresher at Starbucks, this new drink here from McDonald's, you know what, not that I get them anymore, but it's just sugar and water. There's no subtlety of flavor at all for what they're trying to do. It just tastes like straight sugar and water to me. Sweet drinks used to be sweet, but they'd also be refreshing and have like a subtle flavor of fruit or whatever was in it. Let's say you have a fruity guava delight from Ooey Gooey Drinkity pop-up store down the corner. There's been this gradual but like kind of sharp shift from back in the day. If you got like that fruity guava drink, it would be quite sweet, but not to the point you're disgusted by it, getting a headache. It would be refreshing from the water, maybe it sparkles, and you could actually taste the guava, the other fruits in it. So it's a sweet drink, but it also has like fruit flavor. It still has the fruit flavor to it. But now, if you get that same drink, dog, all you're tasting is 80 grams of sugar and some water in that bit. And I personally think this is a plot to turn us into sugar addicted zombies and get our brains so hooked on sugars that we just need more and more and more until we can't resist buying more junk as long as our brain makes us go, yay, whenever we get a nice sugar rush. No, Mr. Businessman with no head. I don't want the new iPad. I'm actually going analog. And I'm Naruto, I literally have magic powers. I thought you'd say that, Naruto. But what if I just put a little bit of sugar on top of that iPad? You can't, you're not gonna, damn it, take all my money! Furthermore, I didn't think about this when putting down my dot notes, but a lot of these drinks are marketed to kids. They're bright, they're colorful, and I feel like kids, are they not just having more and more sugar every day? You can give your kid a Coke can every day, they're gonna be hooked, but now what, you're gonna give them apple grape new product from McDonald's that's like 85 grams of sugar? They're gonna be by the time they're 18, they're gonna be chugging Cokes and having cigarettes their whole life, no? Sugarflation is quite apparent, especially when you see some of these Dunkin' Donuts orders. Let's see if I can pull them up right here. I don't typically go on TikTok, as you can see. But let's see if we can get... I see these orders all the time, just like floating around. I don't know why this guy keeps coming up. Jeez, 25 sugar, 4 cream. I have never in my life got someone order 25 sugar. Nah, that's not even... Dog, what? Okay, so far, almost half the cup is filled with just sugar. No coffee has been put in it yet. Okay, still no coffee. We're pumping the however many amounts of diarrhea chocolate that you put in there. Then we're putting in the diarrhea caramel drizzle in there. Definitely more than half the cup is filled. Still no coffee yet. This poor worker trying to mix this abomination. Okay, we still have to add the 4 cream. Forgot about that. Top it with ice, and then there's this cute little drizzle of coffee at the top. Yeah, okay, bro. Sure, bro. You like coffee. You love coffee. It's totally not just a sugar addiction that you're pretending is you just need your morning cup of coffee. No, you don't. You need your morning needle of liquid sugar. What are you talking about? And this kind of slides into my next conspiracy theory really easily. Basically, I think everyone's pretending to like coffee, or at least a vast majority of people. Let me tell you a story. I used to work at a coffee shop, and we get normal orders like black coffee, but we'd also get... Here, I'll show you. So yeah, you have your coffee cup here, and you know, we'd get like 1 cream, 1 sugar. It's a little bit of sugar, right? Or we'd get like 2 cream, 2 sugar, which is a little bit on the creamier, a little bit on the sugary side, but it's still normal. Like the rest is filled with coffee. You could still very much tell that these people enjoyed their coffee. They enjoy a coffee flavor, whether it had been a bit more sugar or was on the creamier side. It was all dandy. It was all still coffee. But sometimes some f***ing stooge would come in and order a 4x4. Now, what is a 4x4, you ask? Well, it is disgusting. A 4x4 is 4 cream and 4 sugar. This thing is 95% cream, to the point where after the 4x4 is poured, there's this small drizzle of coffee at the top. And you are essentially drinking straight sugar and cream first thing in the morning with a small little pump, a little bloop of coffee. And guys, to me, this drink barely constitutes as coffee. Because to me, you're trying to drown out the coffee flavor so much to the point where you don't taste it anymore. I genuinely have to wonder if you like coffee, because coffee drinkers like the majority of their cup to be coffee. So yeah, 4x4s are gross. Now imagine my surprise when I hear that people at Dunkin' Donuts are getting 5x5s in a small cup. Now, we saw that large cup with like 25 sugars. That's also disgusting. But in a smaller cup, that's 5 cream and 5 sugar. Dog, there is genuinely room for a little kitten sneeze of coffee at the top. Now, there was this girl that got absolutely dragged on TikTok, I think, for trying to order a 5x5 in Italy at like a espresso shop. I don't really care, but I just want to see the order itself because it proves my theory. Yeah, TLDR, you can watch the video for yourself. She asked for a 5x5. This guy in Italy, which Italy has amazing coffee, probably one of the best coffees in the world, looks at her like, what the f***? Are you, what the, yeah, looks at her like, what the f is that? And what are you talking about? What in the land of the free? So she gets her coffee and this is what she says.
Hey, let me stir it up and see how I did, and it's still looking too dark for me.
Looking too dark for her. Still too dark? It has the color of 3% milk at this point. Which brings me to my theory that, yeah, nobody likes coffee. Just have some hot chocolate. Now, although I say all this, I want to be very clear to everyone at home. This conspiracy theory is not meant to drag anybody, because the funniest thing, the biggest kick in the balls is that what's this coffee enjoying performance for? Because nobody cares what you order. You gotta realize it's okay to not like coffee and want to get a pink drink or hot chocolate in the mornings. No one thinks any less of you. You're not less hardworking or less mature just because you want a pop in the morning. I worry about your blood pressure though. Yeah, but I don't think any less of you as a person. Brothers and sisters, let us hold hands and walk into this new life where we don't have to pretend to like coffee or anchovies on pizza, because I know no one with taste buds actually likes that. So this next conspiracy theory, I tried writing it and talking about it 100 times, and it just turned into rambling every time because I'm passionate about the topic and I had a lot to say, and it was hot garbage because of all the rambling. So I'm just gonna try to keep it short, sweet, get my main thoughts out, and move on to the next theory. Basically, this theory is that the protein craze going on right now is making you 10 times unhealthier. What is the protein craze that's going on right now? Basically, fast food companies have noticed that people are more health conscious, there's more information about healthy eating, and they realize, shit, people are pulling away from fast food because they realize how unhealthy it is. So it's kind of like what they did with cereal back in the day. They're like, hey, who cares if this greasy burger is 1600 calories and spikes cholesterol instantaneously? We chucked a bunch of protein into it, so you're good. My biggest problem with this, and let me put my hand on your shoulder while I say this, you're still eating like shit. You're not, and you're not even gonna look good. You're gonna be completely acne ridden with thinning hair because you would rather have a protein brownie instead of an actual meal with nutritional value. And my main gripe that I have with this is you are not learning the actual habits that are sustainable in a long-term fitness journey. For example, learning to cook a healthy, high-protein meal that will fill you up because of all the fiber and protein, or give you energy because it actually has vitamins and minerals. Or building discipline in abstaining from hyperpalatable meals. That is so hard to say. And conquering cravings for fast food. And I know a lot of people are just interested in the looks or the bodybuilding aspects of things. That applies to you too. I'll be quick about this. Cuts, meaning a caloric deficit to get shredded after you build a lot of muscle. Cuts are generally stricter than bulks. At least from what I've seen with my friends that have went on a bulk, they are way more lenient and have to be way stricter on a cut because you have to lose the weight. And if you built the habit of constantly going to fast food places, but instead just opting for the protein option, you're gonna struggle really hard in that cut and you're probably gonna fail it. No? At least I think so. And look, this is not a holier than thou statement. About a week ago, I was not in town, and you know what my breakfast was? It was a protein bagel and 2 protein bars, right? Once in a while, these supplements, these quick grabs for protein that you can get on your day out, it can be really helpful. It's better than back when your only option was to eat like if you were out of your home and you couldn't cook, right? At least it has protein in it so you can build muscle or at least keep full. I guess my point is I'm really disliking that fitness is being sold to us more and more as a commodity. As in, health and wellness is being treated like it's something to buy and not something to work on or just be. Like, bro, it does cost just a whopping $0 to run around your block and do some push-ups. I don't know, I just don't want to head in a direction where we think we absolutely need this brand of clothes and this protein latte and we have to post about it and we need 3 different types of protein powders in our cupboards to be considered healthy or on the right track. When in reality, all you need is a grocery store with Whole Foods. So like, any grocery store, and maybe a membership at a place depending on what you're trying to do, like pickleball or weightlifting, and maybe some cheap headphones. I don't know. The point is that fitness is being seen more and more as something you gotta buy, not something you gotta do. And you can buy stuff if you want, but just don't feel like you have to. I I am the first to say I am all for making fitness easier for yourself. I really wish I still had the video. I just couldn't find it, but I watched it a while ago. And this girl was talking about how she had this whole routine before going to the gym. She'd put on makeup, do her hair, sing, blast on her speakers her favorite songs, and it would really help her get in the move and get in the groove to going in the gym. I am all for that. I'm all for doing things that make it less frictionless for you to work out and move your body. I think that is awesome. Me personally, I switched to a gym that was in walking distance to kind of remove that friction and give less excuses for myself. I'm kind of trying to say, own your fitness accessories, your products and extras, but don't let them own you. Like, I think it's chill to buy fitness stuff. Like the other day, Muscle Nation came out with like this really cool 50% off line of shirts, and I missed the sale, but I was gonna buy some. They looked sick. I was like, I'm gonna look really sick on that dumbbell press. Yeah, these products are sick. They're awesome. They look good. But it's just like, if they're in the wash one day and you had to go in your sweatpants and your tank top with a mustard stain on it, would you still feel like going? Would you still have the discipline to go? Would you still be able to go if you couldn't do your daily routine of getting a protein matcha before your session at some fast food restaurant that you pay $7 for? And this is a big one for a lot of you. If your headphones just broke or your earbuds broke, would you still be able to go? It just kind of gets you thinking of how much we rely on these accessories. They're cool. It's just, they're really cool, and I buy them too. It's just more of, I hope we don't move in a direction where we see them as such crazy necessities instead of just a cool thing to have. Bro, I had one more point, and I've been sitting here for 5 minutes thinking about it. I completely forgot it. It's up in the wind. Yeah, okay. Next conspiracy. Yo, quick warning. In my channel, I always like it to be lighthearted, where we can laugh, have a good time, forget about our troubles, and take the piss out of stuff. But I feel like in this next conspiracy I bring up, I actually get mad and upset, frustrated. Then I did actually taking the piss and having fun. So I'm just saying, if that's not your thing, feel free to stop watching the video here. So yeah, if that's you, video's over. Off you go. I'll do a quick intro. I love you, gang. Boobies. So a couple of days ago, I was in the northern area of my city, and I noticed there was a convenience store nearby. Let's call it AI-25. I-25, I guess. I thought, cool, I need some stuff. It's a 2-minute walk, let's go. When I get there and look through the window, I notice no one's working there. No cashier, no one's sweeping up some Cheeto crumbs, nothing. I thought weird, but whatever. And I try opening the door, and it's locked. What? But they say they're open. And then I saw a QR code next to the door. No way. Now get this. You have to download their app, go through various levels of ID verification, send in your photo, your address, hand over your cookies, and you have to enter in your credit card. So now they have your spending data too. So you can imagine how livid I was when I realized I had to hand over all of my privacy and my soul to enter a fucking convenience store. The good news is I just took the extra 3-minute walk, not even, to a normal convenience store. I got everything I needed. I had a nice small little chat with the cashier, had a good time, remembered human connection for once, and I got out of there. Now guys, let me tell you, this experience ruined my day. I was texting people bitching about this, and if you hit me up that day, you would not hear the end of it. You'd hear me the entire time. I can't believe it. Can you believe this shit? They wouldn't let me in a convenience store until I downloaded their shitty app. I was bitching about this for hours in the day. And then one friend I told was like, hey bro, you might as well have used the app. It's closer than the other convenience store. And I wanted to slap him in that moment because, dog, how cooked are we that we would put up with this bullshit handing over extremely sensitive and private information instead of just walking an extra minute and a half to another convenience store that doesn't do that? And then I had a more troubling thought. I thought, Why did I even pull out my phone and see what the app was about in the first place? Seriously, why did my brain immediately go to downloading this stupid dog shit app and seeing what I gotta do to sign up before my brain went to, oh, let me find another convenience store in the area on maps. And now, this realization brings me to my final theory, the WALL-E theory. If you remember, in WALL-E, the humanity we see are on these floating chairs. They're completely oblivious to what's going on around them, and they're just sucked in this constant state of instant gratification, becoming kind of zombified. And this dystopian experience of having to give in all my information to buy some Doritos really made me think. When it comes to instant gratification, are we losing the plot so much that we actually let this bullshit happen? I'm not the first guy, and I won't be the last guy to tell you that instant gratification, our phones, these short form content apps, hyperpalatable foods, our phones being extremely addicting. I won't be the first or last guy to tell you that these things have really terrible consequences and can really mess up your brain and psyche. You can search it up for yourself. There's plenty of evidence out there, plenty of research, plenty of YouTube videos on that. I don't need to tell you that. I more am just thinking about the direction we're going when talking about instant gratification. Because at what point do we become so lazy? Do we need instant gratification so badly that we will just put up with whatever bullshit is happening to us, no matter how stupid it is? Who cares if DoorDash jacked up the prices to a $70 delivering fee? I want my food now, and I want it easy, and I want it delivered to me. You see where I'm going with this. At what point do our brains, I'm just going to be real, at what point do our brains become so fucked that we can't stand up to anything? I can't stand up to this fast food place that did some horrible things to their workers. They make my favorite matcha latte. I'm really dragging matcha latte like, I like matcha latte too. They make my favorite caramel swirl milkshake. Algorithms are constantly feeding us negativity and anything to divide us, to make us hooked. Everything is designed to make you hooked on it, stay as long as you can on it as possible. And it's honestly gotten to such a point where I feel like we won't rise up or stand against everything. Because how are you supposed to rally and fight against something if you can barely get off the product, not immediately scroll for the rest of your free time after work? It's genuinely got me thinking it's gonna get to a point where we're just zombies. We are gonna sit there and just be fed whatever an algorithm, and all we're gonna do is just go next and next and next and try to get that hit of dopamine no matter the cost. And we can't wait a single second without needing that instant gratification. And I kind of see it everywhere. Cartoons are getting brighter with more color saturation, more snappier. Drinks are getting sugarier. Foods are mounted with piles of sauce. Trends have gotten people into literal fights and other people stomped over during opening sales. I guess this is just a reminder that your attention and what you put your time into is beyond important. And this is me being a pot calling a kettle black. I am the worst of us. There's a reason I don't have TikTok, and it's not because I'm holier than thou. It's because I have such an addictive personality. I have some friends that can scroll for a couple hours. They're like, okay, that's enough TikTok for me. Let's get to hitting the books. I can't do that. If I start scrolling on that shit, that's all I'm doing for the rest of the day. So this is more a message to me as it is to message anyone out there. We live in an age of technology. You can't be perfect, and I'm not saying to abstain from everything and become Amish, but just take back control of what you consume and what you do. Even if you have to start super small, 10 minutes of hard focus on something not social media related, not on your phone, putting your phone in another room, downloading an app that reminds you to get off whatever addicting app you indulge in, going on a walk, connecting with friends and family again, building meaningful relationships, Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, I don't know, man, because we really need to lock in. The technology is cool, but we need to be in control at the end of the day, even if we have to slowly build that up. For me, it's a work in progress, but I've gotten into writing shitty short stories again, and I'll just put my phone in another room and I'll just write some fantasy slop and just kind of enjoy that. But point is, we need to start owning our minds again. The next time you do something that's kind of instantly gratifying, really indulgent, really dopaminergic, just remember who's benefiting the most from this. Who's benefiting the most from a crazy addictive drink that you're absolutely hooked on? Who's benefiting the most from you being unable to stop scrolling? Who's benefiting the most from you being so tired and from your attention span being so cooked that you can't even go 6 seconds without having 3 tabs open? Who's benefiting the most from all this? Are we benefiting? Because I'll tell you this, I-25 that I was talking about earlier, who are they benefiting on? I'm not trying to drag anyone, but they're banking on the fact that people can't be fucked or give a fuck about how dystopian of an idea it is, and just be like, okay, fuck it, here's my information, let me in this convenience store, whatever. That's what they're banking on. They're banking on people being too tired and none the wiser and just wanting that instant gratification. It's benefiting them more than it's benefiting us. With that, this video's too long. I have nothing else to say. I love y'all. I hope you don't slip on a banana peel, your bus driver doesn't drive off without you, your drinks and coffee isn't trying to game end you, and I hope a stupid ass fuck ass convenience store doesn't make you need a fuck ass brain dead ass buying ass 2-factor authentication ass fuck ass app to be able to get some hand soap because you ran out the other day. Peace out.